Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Citizen channel as I'm here looking forward to a Champions League quarter-final game, first leg at the Etihad against Borussia Dortmund on the 6th of April 2021. So what we do with this little vlog, you look at a little bit of the history. Not much history, but there's a bit of history there between ourselves and the fantastic, one of the top German clubs. Obviously, everyone sort of pales into insignificance when compared to, obviously, Bayern Munich. But yeah, they've consistently been one of the top teams in Germany. We'll talk about that. A meeting between us over 50 years ago now in this vlog. So please welcome to the History Boys, and we're going to have a look at a little bit of history of Borussia Dortmund and a little bit of history about Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund. So please, if you're new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. That'd be fantastic. I do try and inform and entertain, and if you do enjoy this, please push that notification so you get to know these City vlogs that are coming out. I do City stuff from the past, City from the present, quizzes, magazine vlogs, lots of different things, book clubs, you name it. There'll even be a movie club soon, a City movie club. There you go, there's a new thing. So please check out the playlist, and you'll also see stuff on my film and TV channel as well. I'm very greedy. I have a couple of channels. I love films and TV as well as perhaps not quite as much as City, but I love films and TV. So please check that out as well. I do film reviews, drama reviews, information vlogs. So if you're interested in that, have a look at that as well. Or if you know somebody might just be interested in that, perhaps not interested in City, but they're into, how dare they, but be interested in that, just point me in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. But we're not talking that today. We're talking football today. So if you need any followers or friends on Facebook or Twitter, just seek me out. There's a couple of links on screen. I do check every 3 or 4 days and follow and friend everyone back on there. So do that for me. And please, any comments you've got, if you have any memories of Borussia Dortmund, any memories of this game, for instance, obviously back in the day, we'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, this is a bit newer, this one, but still a few years ago. I mean, there might be some people watching this who are perhaps too young to attend that game, but yeah, so still history, isn't it? So if you've any personal memories, let me know, or anything about City, just let me know in the comments. And if you don't have time to leave a comment at the moment, just give us a thumbs up. It's nice to get views, but it's great to get thumbs up. I try and get between 20 and 30. If you can help me towards that target every time, I'm trying to get about 20 to 30 thumbs ups on these vlogs, so much appreciated. Right, here we go, the History Boys. Yeah, Borussia Dortmund, just a little bit on this. I mean, there will be another one of these coming out when we actually play the away leg, so I'll give you a bit of information today. There'll be more to come, obviously, when I do my feature before that game. Yeah, they were formed in 1909, so not ancient, obviously, not compared to us, but obviously, so 1909, so that's still, what, 112 years. That's not too bad going, is it? They've won the Cup Winners' Cup like ourselves. They won it back in 1966, and I think they actually beat Liverpool. So hey, there's a good thing between us, isn't it? Beating Liverpool, we'll go with that. That's fine. I think they've won German title 8 times, which isn't magnificent, is it? But as you say, when you've got other teams like Bayern Munich knocking about, it's not a bad effort. And they've won the German Cup just 4 times, which is slightly strange because they always seem to be a bit of a cup team to me. Yeah, Dortmund, or certainly modern times. What about the Champions League, or the European Cup as it was called as well? And obviously they've had certain achievements and levels in that to qualify this season. Obviously they finished second in the Bundesliga behind Bayern for the 2nd season running, so that was in 2019-20. And this is actually Borussia Dortmund's 15th UEFA Champions League campaign. They were winners in 1997, I think it was called the Champions League then, and the runners-up in 2013, so they've actually won it once. So there you go. That's one more than us, isn't it? So all credit to him. But Dortmund this time are in the last 8 for the first time since 2017. So they've had a bit of a gap. They've lost the last 2 UEFA Champions League quarter-finals, but before that had won 3 out of 6, so like a 50% record. They've lost their last 5 games against Premier League opponents, so that bodes well, hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, Dortmund's record in the European Cup quarter-finals is 1-4 and lost 4, so that's not too bad, is it? And it goes back to 1957-58. Yeah, no, I wasn't quite born. I was nearly. I was a twinkle in my father's eye. they lost on aggregate 5-2 to AC Milan back in 57-58. In 63-64, they actually won 5-3 on aggregate against Dukla Praha. I think that's how it's pronounced. In 1995-1996, we get a bit more modern. They lost on aggregate 3-0 to Ajax. On 96-97, they won 4-1 on aggregate to Auxerre. 1997 to 1998, yeah, they won 1-0 on aggregate against Bayern Munich. There you go, fantastic. And obviously, that was the season after they'd won it, hadn't it? 2012-13, they'd actually won 3-2 on aggregate against Malaga. 2013-14, they lost 2-3 on aggregate to Real Madrid. And 2016-17, they lost 6-3 on aggregate to Monaco. How can you get beat by Monaco? Absolute rubbish. 6-3 by Monaco 26-17. So that's the last time they played in the quarterfinals. Previously against an English side in this competition, they were beaten away 3-0 and at home 1-0, of course, by Spuds. Yeah, Tottenham actually beat them in 2018-19 round of 16. So if we can emulate that, I think we'll be quite happy with that. And the last fixtures against an English, that was the last fixture against an English club. That made it their record in two-legged knockout ties against English clubs, won 3 and lost 3, so pretty split. Dortmund have lost 4 of the last 5 trips to England and 8 of their 13 away games to English clubs overall, and they've just won 4 and drawn 1, so we can say they perhaps don't travel quite as well as they do at home. Any recent links between City and Dortmund? Well, of course, Gundogan was a Dortmund player between 2011 and 2016 when he joined City, scoring 15 goals in 157 appearances in all competitions for him. And of course, he was part of the German team that won the German League and a cup double in 2011-12 and scored Dortmund's goal from the penalty spot. There you go. Well, he needs to improve. I think he scored one the other night as I'm recording this for Germany as well. From the penalty spot, a 2-1 defeat by Bayern in the following season's Champions League final, of course. And of course, another link is Mr. Sancho, isn't it, who's actually injured for this game as I'm recording this. Who joined City from Watford in 2015 at the age of just 14. He spent the next 6 seasons in the club's academy side, our club's academy side, of course, before signing for Dortmund in August 27. He's doing okay there as well. He's not doing too bad. So the last time we met, when was the last time we met? Well, as I say, we're going back to 2012, 2013, aren't we? And that was the only time we met competitively. I say, well, I'll talk about another game in a moment, but competitively, that's the only ever time we played them. And obviously, it was on the 3rd of October 2012 we played them at the Etihad. I was at that one. Obviously, memories of, I think there's probably highlights of Mr. Hart having a pretty good game that game. But yeah, the BBC Sports summarised the game that night in this way. City's 17-game unbeaten run at home in Europe looked to be over, with the German side leading through a Marco Reus strike and only being denied more goals by a virtuoso performance from an inspired Joe Hart. It was. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic that night. But with Roberto Mancini's men on the ropes in what the City manager described as a must-win encounter in Group D, they were gifted a last-minute chance to save themselves when Nevin Subotic handled inside the area. Was it VAR then? No. And substitute Balotelli coolly rolled home the resulting spot kick. A City player who can score penalties. It's a point that keeps City's hopes of reaching the knockout stages alive, say the BBC, but it's more than they deserve from a game in which their defence was often ripped to shreds. Yeah, it wasn't pretty sight, was it? It was quite enthralling, but it was like a defence against attack on the pitch, wasn't it? On the park that you play with your mates. But obviously in the return, Julian Schreiber's 57th minute goal proved enough for the German club to win at the BVB, or the Borussia Dortmund Stadion Dortmund, on the 4th of December 2012. Those results helped, Jurgen Klopp's Dortmund finish first in Group D on 14 points. Not a bad haul ahead of Real Madrid and Ajax, while Borussia Dortmund went on to reach the final, losing, of course, to Bayern Munich at Wembley. We, under Roberto Mancini, bowed out after finishing 4th in our section on 3 points. Quite a dismal campaign, wasn't it? We failed to win any of our 6 games. We also drew at home with Ajax and Real Madrid. So not great, not fantastic. I'm sure we can do better this time. Further in time, we go back further in time. Yeah, it's that little programme there. We go back to the 11th of August 1967. So our actual league winning season, 67-68. So it's prior to that season. We invited Borussia Dortmund to Main Road and said they'd done okay in the German league, and they'd been one of what they said it was quite flattering in the programme towards them. And we actually beat them 4-0. We actually did play them, I think, later in the season, or at the end of the season as well. They actually got a bit of revenge. They actually beat us over in Dortmund. But as far as this, might have a little talk about that in the next little episode of this History Boys. But yeah, a 4-0 win. So yeah, it was prestigious at the time. I say it's not the team that was on everyone's tongue at the time. It was still obviously another certain club. But there you go. It wasn't a bad win. Actually, a Doyle hat trick. Scorers were Doyle and Connor got the other goal. City's team that day was Dowd, Buck, Pardo, Kennedy, Heslop, Oakes, Summerbee, Doyle, Young, Connor and Coleman. So pretty much the championship winning team. Obviously there's a couple of obviously the Bell's missing from that. Francis Lee was missing from that. But yeah, pretty much on a par with the team that actually won the title, wasn't it? That lineup. The Guardian match report on the 12th of August 67, yeah, thanks to the Guardian, and they quoted and they wrote this: Manchester's new football season started splendidly at Main Road last night when Manchester City beat Dortmund, one of Germany's best clubs, 4-0. In spite of having 7 international players in their side, Dortmund were outplayed. And yeah, this is West Germany then at the time, of course. It wasn't Germany then. They were obviously playing under West Germany auspices, weren't they? Dortmund were outplayed and at times outclassed in an entertaining encounter. I'm fairly sure of. I think I was there that night, or certainly no reason that I wouldn't have been there that night. Manchester City have thus completed a memorable close season run of 3 wins over European opponents following their successes on tour in May against Eintracht Frankfurt and Standard Liège. So well done, City. The hero of the night was Doyle, who scored 3 splendid goals, but Young, Summerbee and Kennedy also played well. For Borussia, Vessel was in constant action in goals, a bit like Joe Hart, and had little chance to stop any of the goals. He had good support from Powell and Currit, but the only forward to impress was Labuda, although Held made a few of his famous bursts late in the game. Manchester City started in a stylish, lively mood. They were awarded 2 free kicks and 2 corner kicks, Young and Kennedy in particular setting a fine pace. The first thrust by the German forwards came after 15 minutes when Labuda, after a fine drive, made an exciting run on the right wing. Soon afterwards, Labuda delivered another powerful shot, which was brilliantly saved by Harry Dowd, the City goalkeeper. However, he saw little action for the rest of the half. City deservedly took the lead in the 35th minute when, after some excellent play by Summerbee, Young and Coleman, Doyle hooked the ball with his left foot past Vessel. 8 minutes later, Doyle scored again. This time he headed the ball home delightfully from a well-taken corner on the left from Tony Coleman. Doyle completed his hat-trick 11 minutes after the interval with a magnificent header from Summerbee's long, high corner kick. Borussia's humiliation was completed 5 minutes from the end when Connor scored with a fierce shot from the edge of the penalty area. Then David Connor, I'll have to do a bit on him, another one of those forgotten players from that time. Yeah, so there you go. That was the match report. Thanks to the Guardian. So as I say, yeah, I would have been sat in the Platt Lane stand with my father for that one. So yeah, and with it being European opposition, I'm sure my dad would have took me for that. But obviously, our little couple of years later, when we actually were in the European Cup, didn't go so well, did it? But hey, we won't talk about that. Any records at stake? Yeah, just before we finish, yeah, of course. It is 706 minutes since City conceded a UEFA Champions League goal. Luis Diaz's 14th minute opener for Porto on match day 1. The record for the competition was set by Arsenal, of course, in 2005-2006. It's 995 minutes, so we've got to go for another 289 minutes. I can't see it. I can't see us doing that. So we're now second in the all-time rankings, having moved above Juventus, who was 690 minutes. Anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this little look back, this History Boy feature on City against Borussia Dortmund. Please, whatever you're going to do this day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a flit across, have a look at my film and TV channel. All I ever ask is please stay safe, Blues. Thanks for watching. Come on, City. See you soon. Bye-bye.